What's up, guys? Tawok here, bringing you episode 3 of the Spicy Sausage. I'm joined once again by Skimask and Mr.Blonde, and today we're going to talk to you about the X-Link numbers, what's going on in SOCOM, and what's cool in the gaming industry. Ski, what's going on with the numbers?
Well, we actually had a pretty good turnout last Friday. We had a community event as usual. This time we did a little something different. We did kind of an ad hoc war. But as far as the numbers are concerned, we put up 52 for SOCOM 2 and 16 for combined assault. So 68. That's not bad. Gents.
It's almost record numbers.
Ladies and gents. And and when you think about the fact that the 10 of us decided to kind of pull off into our own arena, it was a great time. I gotta be honest with you guys though. The fans, they're still clamoring for that combined assault. They're out there in the woodwork, so to speak. But again, the counts for Wednesday for the multiplayer event that we did were 45 and 13. So they're still putting up good numbers on Wednesdays. Fridays is obviously the big day of the week to play. Saturdays is always good too. So I just want to encourage people to come on out.
Well, definitely the funnest thing about last Friday was doing that 5 versus 5 war and just playing with people who were on a relative playing field, and it was just a really damn good time.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. It was the most fun I've had with breach maps in a long time, because generally when you add in breach maps on top of the already probably stacked team in X-Link, it's just a recipe for a stomp. But this one was a little more competitive, especially at the end. Yeah, we did a three little map war there, 5v5. The video is actually on Tawok's channel. Excuse me, I still call you Tawok on a very regular basis.
Oh man, it's totally okay though.
It reads that way. Anyway.
Does it really though?
It does really though.
Okay.
But anyways, the video's up on Tawok's channel. And you can catch it there. It's about 18 minutes long, if I remember correctly. It's a good watch. You're going to be able to watch some people that you don't often see in the videos from like the community nights and stuff like that. You're going to be able to see them playing. For example, Dizzy came out there. Laziness came out there with a nice little clutch on Enowapi. I got 3 sniper kills on Sujo somehow. Yeah, I just found it a lot more fun than the war zone that can be just the public lobbies. Which, I mean, I've had good times in those, but it's hit and miss some days.
Definitely. It's definitely awesome when you get like a quick little organization together and dodgeball style, pick a map, and then we did, obviously Crossroads tiebreaker, and it was just...
Though the tiebreaker was unnecessary, we kind of won.
Oh.
Well...
That was a courtesy offer on our part.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, I would have rather played in a 5 versus 5 lobby for the rest of the night if the people were going to be there anyway. So I mean, it was a good time. It was better to play with, guys who agreed to not wall slide, other than Kareem. Hashtag funny meme.
Hashtag wig splitter.
Yeah, dude, he was getting the shots in. It was such a damn good time. And I encourage everybody out there listening to the Spicy Sausage, you guys can come out too. You head over to therealsocom.com. We have guides to get you online, threads to help you buy a PS2 if you don't have one anymore, and then threads where we gather and then we get online every Friday night together. And then you can check out our co-op on Wednesdays where we stream it on my Twitch channel.
Yeah, it's a weekly occasion, bi-weekly actually, because we do 2 each week, obviously Wednesday and Friday. You were mentioning before, Skimask, that there's a bit of conflict as to whether or not we should be doing co-op or more basically multiplayer, except in combined assault on Wednesday. And I think our next our next cooperative session is going to be the last one for our first playthrough of the game.
Sure.
And as such, we're probably going to be taking a bit of a break before we do like any other acing it playthroughs or anything like that. So, or do one where we just rotate out the roster a little bit, add some new folks into the fire team. But
some new talent.
Some plucky upstarts are going to be joining the SEAL team. Maybe we'll see. That stuff's in the pipe. But the week after this one, this Wednesday coming up, is probably the last co-op session that we're going to be doing for a while. And then after that, I think maybe it is in the cards that we do multiplayer combined assault for Wednesday and then multiplayer S2 for Friday.
Definitely.
Sure. Yep, I'm there with you guys as well. I think that I've heard on more than a few occasions. A lot of the fans would love that. And this is not to say, I mean, we're just talking specifically our community nights, but this isn't to say that you cannot almost log on anytime after, say, 3 p.m. on any given day of the week. The weekends are even earlier, and there's a game of SOCOM to be played. I mean, I even would stream during lunchtime last Friday, so just for those of you that can watch at work, freaking hit me up on Twitch. Search SOCOM and you'll see it. I mean, people are out there. The numbers are growing.
Yeah, I think I definitely like where the numbers are at right now, because at certain times you're guaranteed to get a smaller session if that's what you're looking for. You just want like a 2v2 or 3v3 or 4v4 or what have you on Frostfire or one of the smaller maps. Whereas on a Friday, you're going to be running into full 16 sessions and you're going to get the the experience that you remember, I suppose, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the Skull Crack, because I believe last Friday I got 14 hours of it. How many did you guys get?
Not that much.
No, you don't have to answer that.
Because I'm not a wiener
serious.
that just sits here and plays PS2 games all my life.
No, I'm not either. I'm a fucking grown man and I work. I'm a loser, obviously, but no lie, 14 hours.
Jesus, man.
I had a stopwatch next to him the whole time.
Classic.
No, it wasn't. It was actually 16 hours, and I only took a 2-hour break.
And he shit in his chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You go to the bathroom. You're not playing SOCOM.
I think that's in one of the live.
Only people who die go to the bathroom.
I know,
Yeah.
and thankfully you've cut it out, because I believe I've talked about it before. Where I'm like, I think it's been 5 hours. I think I might have to go potty. And they're like, what'd you just say?
Potty?
And
So speaking of SOCOM, Project Confrontation put out a dev blog, and Skimask has the notes on that.
yeah, actually, I was just telling these boys earlier. I'm a little bit different kind of a cat. I sometimes savor some of the goodies. I like to ingest things kind of in my stride, and sometimes I have time to sit down and focus and get through things, and other times I take it in segments. Some of the podcasts or other material like the videos and things like that. I mean, I'll listen to them in the car. I'll listen to different types of material in different ways all the time. So as far as their blog and some of the stuff that they've put out, it's been quality. I mean, you go check out their website, and we'll put, Tawok will put all the links down below, but you'll see that they're putting out consistent blogs about what they're doing, what's going on, and definitely very detailed oriented fucking videos and pictures about everything that that they're incorporating, from the characters to the movements to you name it. So,
and I guess for anybody who hasn't heard before, Project Confrontation is a new entry into the SOCOM, not necessarily legacy, but more like the universe. It's inspired by Confrontation, and it's going to be a third-person multiplayer shooter.
Yep, yeah. And it's being developed by a team. Blonde, obviously, you know just as much. I mean,
I don't know. What I gather from it is it's like a non-profit thing. It's not. I wouldn't expect any Kickstarter projects or anything like that in the near future. It seems to be people plugging away at it in their spare time or with whatever skills they may have, without necessarily like a wage or anything like that. So it's going to be, I think, a bit more of a trickle of progress, but it's going to be less. It's going to be a little bit more secure in that the only barrier to them making progress is their own investment in the project. Not to put pressure on them or anything, obviously, but it's not like a high stakes kind of thing. It's just something to, for me at least, to look at and take note of the progress as it comes along. Because I'm not
cheer mom.
Because I'm not a PC guy or anything like that just yet. That could change in the near future, and if it does, then I might just be interested in testing that, but I don't know if, yeah. But
we don't know if he'll go out and get finger quotes outrigged yet. Yeah. But to further expound on that, definitely, fan-made, passion-fueled project with a team of people who are all very serious into the game of SOCOM. I mean, we play with these cats on X-Link, playing the very game that we all love, S2. We've seen them play Confrontation. We've seen them, stream the stuff, talk about it, enthuse about it. I mean, they're all just, like I said, very forthcoming about their histories of it. And so, with that all being said, we're always looking forward to their updates. Check them out. Click on those links, and check out some of the things that you're already seeing that's very SOCOM-esque. And that's things like, dive to prone, prone roll, jump to climb. Very important.
Hashtag jump to climb. But yeah,
And climbing ladders. It's already in there, guys. And
we're not talking about like Counter-Strike climbing. We're talking
zippity
about
doodas. I heard it's there's no teleporting up a thing that looks like a ladder, and then all of a sudden you're up there. There's no ramps. I don't think they've ever
There's
had
no
to use a
climbing
ramp.
without your hands.
No, they actually have jump to climb, fully immersive ladder climbing. It's great. So
So
check them
damn
out.
immersive ladder climbing.
yeah.
And
But
cheer them on, give them a like, follow their team, follow the YouTubes, spread that love, and give them the comments, give them the feedback that they're looking for, and just stay involved.
So that's
Yeah.
SOCOM. Let's talk and get excited about Ghost Recon Wildlands. You boys hyped for that?
hyped for the release itself a little bit. I mean, I'm hopeful that the game's going to be good. What I've seen, I've got worries, but I've also got certain things that are intriguing me. I'm going to have to give it more of a chance with the open beta that is starting on the 23rd of February and ending on the 27th. My prediction is that the open beta, I believe they're adding another region to be explored as compared to the closed beta, aren't they?
Yeah, they said they were going to definitely extend the map you could explore for this one.
Yeah, so getting to see... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say any fan can go ahead and click on a link and you'll see what they've opened up in their chunk.
Yeah, I think seeing two different regions, hopefully at least significantly different climates, will definitely give you an idea of what the graphics are going to be. Going to give you an idea of, just the scope of the game. I'm hoping to see that they've made the environment a little bit more like alive, and not just random dudes driving around and that's it. That's been a problem with a lot of Ubisoft open world games that I found, like Far Cry. It's just that it's got this big, nice looking world, but basically all there is to do in it is go and find collectibles, which I don't know. There's good and bad with that.
Yay, collectibles!
I am pretty burnt out on the whole shtick of climb a tower, see some objectives, do the same kind of like 4 kinds of objectives, and then you go to the next region and climb the tower and do the same 4 collection of objectives.
Yeah,
Yay, objectives!
I'm an objective-focused gamer.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm excited to try out the open beta. I want to see if they've added any more of the weapons to try out, because I felt that the weapon selection in the closed beta was a bit slim. Basically, everybody was running the same loadout when I played with them, which was like the standard assault rifle and the one sniper that everybody found. Sometimes people would run an MP5 or whatever the equivalent is if they didn't have that sniper rifle yet, and that's about it. But I think this one hopefully will do something different. I think in the full game I'll get a better grasp of that. And I'm really hopeful that... I don't think the open beta will have this, but I'm really hopeful to see some updates to the shooting mechanics, just in preparation for any PvP elements they want to add down the line.
PvP is what would really sell that game. Is that all we really have to say on Ghost Recon Wildlands?
I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I'm not quite sure. I know that when I was reading the fine print, that they require you obviously to be Uplay fucking account. And I know that we found from the last closed beta experience, it was quite a pain in the ass to get people to sign up quick for these accounts. And they would do that, but maybe they didn't verify their emails, or maybe it was just the fact that the company pretty much shit the bed and didn't deliver a lot of emails because it overloaded their system. And then they said that you couldn't resend these friend invites again. Because for those that didn't know, those of us that played the closed beta, we got to invite 3 other people in with us. and that way we could, squad up, so to speak, and play the
Basically,
damn thing.
bring your own squad, yeah.
Yep. And so, but the problem is that fucking failed miserably for most people, and it was nobody's fault other than Ubisoft's shit on their website is fucking broke as fuck a lot of times, and it doesn't necessarily log you in, and when you are logged in, you'll have to re-log in, and there's a few different layers you can tell that they've kind of slapped over their website, and it's definitely for security purposes, but it also screws with the way that the game connects to the whole, the other internal indexing, whatever gigawatt system that they're running. But so I sent out my invites, and guess what? One buddy got it immediately, and the other buddy didn't get it at all. How many friends do you guys got that are like on fucking Uplay?
Like 2?
I was surprised to see I had some of my long-term friends that I play a lot of the same games with don't have those accounts. The fact is that it requires it. I'm sorry I went on this long tangent, but for those who are interested in playing the open beta, please make sure your Ubisoft shit's in order, because it may just go ahead and fuck you with it, because there's also a thing that you should still RSVP, so to speak. And I encourage everybody, hopefully, Tawok, you'll put the link down below, but, click on that in the description, because it's very important that you at least make sure that you're in that system. Otherwise, you may just not be able to play, and that'll be a bummer.
I agree with that. I think that, hold on a second, that does segue into some things that I wanted to discuss with you guys that we touched on a little bit last episode, and that's just new trends in gaming that kind of piss me or piss you or piss anybody off. And sure. I guess one of them would be these fucking secondary login things. When we've already got PSN, we've already got Steam, we've already got Xbox Live. Every goddamn company thinks, oh, they need to join the UB Club. They're going to like that. They can make points and unlock a Ghost Recon skin for their Rainbow Six character. But that's great. But please don't make it such a hassle to log into stuff and have a website that you don't care for, and just make it more of a hassle for your customers to enjoy your game. That's what killed Metal Gear Online 2. You want to know why there are 3 installations of Metal Gear Online, and 2 of them are already dead? One of them's already on life support. It's still the servers are running, but nobody plays it. At least Metal Gear Online 3 is a little less egregious with that stuff. But Metal Gear Online 2 was you got to have 2 separate IDs on top of your PSN ID. You got to know a new login. You got to have characters your own character slots and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that wasn't cool with the character customization and stuff, but I don't feel like that character customization feature really needed to have all of these weird extraneous login services. That it's just more stuff to fuck up and fail and not let people play the game. PSN could be up, but Konami's weird database of a bunch of random IDs could be down. And oops, sorry, you don't get to play. Stuff like that. But that's just one of them. I don't know if you guys want to talk about any other.
I will echo the same thing. Yeah, fuck that. And if you're going to use it for character customization, well, at least let us port the shit into the game so it fucking works, right? Well, anyway, that's a callback to episode 2 for all y'all that just maybe started in on this up for whatever reason.
Yeah, what about you, Tawok? Have you got? I know last episode we were talking For Honor, and you mentioned microtransactions there. I don't want to shoehorn you into a discussion that you're not invested in or anything, but what's your take on microtransactions and their place in gaming today?
I hate them so much. It just, especially in a full price title, I really like games. I've been playing Paladins lately, which happens to have that secondary login shit that you're talking about. And I forgot my goddamn password the other day for the secondary login. And I remember openly bitching, and nobody listening, about how I fucking was I have to find this secondary shit, and I don't even remember if it's the same fucking account name, and I have to log into this. But the reason I was talking about Paladins is because they're free to play. So I understand why they have microtransactions, but the only thing that I like about that is that they're all cosmetic. It's none of that bullshit where you have to buy level up packs and stuff like that. Hint, hint, Battlefield, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah. it's becoming a way more popular. I guess some people call it alternative funding thing. These micro Janet Jacksons that they put in these fucking full price games, like you say, and the fact that maybe I have a unique problem with this because in Canada, video games are $80 a pop when they're fresh, like at least on PSN, obviously. And I'm already getting nickel and dimed there, but to buy an $80 game and then a $40 season pass, in the case of like For Honor or something like that, Star Wars Battlefront had one that was $70 here, so
God.
that was awesome. And then to have microtransactions in there is just like, how much money do you need? All right, especially when it's these games that they don't patch very often, and it's like, where's this money going? What is it doing? Is it going to the sequel? Because I mean, that's great, but I kind of wanted to buy the sequel when it came out instead of buy it now.
It's going to the parent company's coffers.
And I mean, I'm not entirely opposed to cosmetic microtransactions and stuff like that because, again, they don't necessarily affect the game balance or anything like that.
Do you think cosmetic microtransactions are why Valve hasn't made a game in forever?
Yeah, I do. It's just so lucrative that there's no reason, like, I can't blame the company for leaning on microtransactions because they're so profitable and people buy them. And I don't want to get all anti-consumer here and tell people to stop buying them because they're fucking the industry up or anything like that, but I do find it frustrating when people defend so vehemently the practice of microtransactions when I feel like it does have a negative impact on a lot of games. My prime example would be GTA 5, and I know you play this a lot, Tawok.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about with the shark cards and how prices have gotten so gouged in the interest of selling them, and I find that the game is often less enjoyable because...
You're talking about when they add like $120,000 jacket?
Yeah, like back when the game came out, a tank top would cost you like $100, which is still kind of ridiculous if you think about it in real life terms.
Fucking
but whatever,
tank top.
It's $100. You can rob a store and buy 15 tank tops. Look at you. You're a high roller now with your 15 tank tops. But now you've got these like shitty looking gold spray painted T-shirts in the designers category that cost like $15,000. Like, why would... all I'm asking for is some semblance of restraint when it comes to the pricing.
I remember I came back after an exceptionally long hiatus. I didn't play since PS3, and then I bought it for PC when the Biker update came out. And I still had a bunch of money saved up from when I played on PS3, and it almost broke me buying my Clubhouse, buying a biker bike that was decent looking, and then getting an outfit. Like, it broke me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's such significant investment, too, in making money. Like, if you want to make money the motorcycle club way, you need to buy a clubhouse, which will run you a couple $100,000 even if you buy the cheapest one, which is out of the way and not convenient in the slightest, so you don't want to do that. Then you got to buy a business, or you don't have to. In fact, I don't actually recommend you do, but if only for the annoying phone calls. But the businesses, those all run you upwards of like 1.5 million, 95% of them. And on top of that, the time invested to make money off of those businesses is ridiculous. So you're not paying just with like fancy bucks. You're also paying with hours of your time spent screwing around, going and getting into fights at biker clubs, or at bars with other bikers who that's my favorite mission, by the way, when you're resupplying your business and they're like, go to the biker convention at the bar and go beat them up. And so you run in there and you're not allowed to use any of your weapons, which, okay, I'm all down for a good old-fashioned clubbering, but they're allowed to use weapons. They got pool cues, they got knives, and they've got numbers. So I run in there and I do my like 3 kidney punches, but unfortunately, because the melee system in this game is terrible, I get stomped immediately. And the main workaround most people do is they just throw C4 on a bike and drive it into the bar and blow everybody up.
Yeah, I guess I'll try anything.
That's the pro way to do it. That's the thing. The only, like 95% of the ways to make money in this game are workarounds to finagle the game into doing what you want and to essentially contradict what Rockstar intended you to do.
Well, when I originally played it on PS3, the big thing to do was there was this one mission, a last stand mission, where people would just sit in a lobby and they would just do that over and over and over again. And it was like 60 grand like a mission, and it only took like 12 minutes, which was relatively good money back then. And they would just do that back to back to back. And then when I played recently, the thing that they were doing then was they were fucking doing like races back to back, and then it became like Juggernaut back to back, and like they always just found like this perfect way of, it's like, well, this is the hot mission this month where you make fucking X amount of dollars.
Yeah, I feel like the best ways to make money in GTA 5 are not the funnest ways to make money. It's all comes down to grinding out this same event over and over again. And eventually Rockstar is just going to patch it and you're going to move on to the next event to grind over and over again. But that's just me. Maybe I'm playing it wrong. I know a lot of people that have played like hundreds of days of it. But then again, I also know people that pay to play EVE Online. So I guess different strokes. I think that's all.
And then you've also known other guys that fucking played it like 3 fucking years ago, beat the shit, squashed it, realized it was shallow as all fuck, and just gave up.
Yeah, and that's the same problem people are having with, I never played it, but that new free-to-play game, Let It Die, by the Enigma himself, Suda51, his take on the hack-and-slash kind of Dark Souls-ish formula, but it was free-to-play.
Interesting.
Got like a weird progression curve. I've seen some videos on it that give scathing reviews to how the game handles like the mid-game once you've used up all of your free extra lives and you got to pay for more of them. The game just gets kind of ridiculous. That's my understanding of it. But
yeah, I was gonna say, because I think for PlayStation Plus members right now in the PlayStation Store, that one's a free title right now.
I think it's just free to play altogether for everybody, but I could be wrong.
You're probably right, because they do kind of stick those in there every now and then to put up the illusion like they're giving away free games.
Yeah.
But with that being said, real quick, just if anybody who cares, go check that out. This month, I think they're giving away Little Big Planet. I think that was a pretty fun game. So,
Little Big Planet 3, as well as
I know the other one is. Prominence Poker was one that they were giving away.
Wow.
That might have been that could have been even last month again.
I'm seeing Little Big Planet 3, and I'm seeing Not a Hero, which looks like your standard indie fare.
There's one thing PS does have on Steam, is Steam doesn't give us free games every month.
No, it just gives you a lot more very cheap games every second, is what it does. And
that's like a double-edged sword.
That's a segue, because that's another thing I wanted to cover, if it's all right with you guys, is the recent increase in PSN flash sales, and like they're doing a lot more deal stuff in the PlayStation Store compared to the much heralded Steam sale, which very popular. Lots of
we really do herald that.
Oh yeah, and I'm not as familiar with it as an actual PC guy would be.
Yeah, I'm not either. I don't even have a PC, but I do know that a lot of people talk about these humble bundles or whatever, and they're always like $3 or $4, and they seem to have always had pretty quality titles.
Oh my god, those humble bundles will stack you up on games, man.
Yeah, see, we're starting to get a little bit more of that on the console front, but as well as on top of the free games for every month for the subscription service. But I still think Steam sales have them beat in terms of sheer volume of deals, sheer volume of games that you can get for very, very low prices. If you'd like to give me a job.
No, they stomp us when it comes to PC versus console. I mean, console, it's ridiculous. They still want those same crappy Walmart prices, man. Like $39.99 for some of these titles that nobody's playing anymore. That doesn't even have online support and stuff.
I was looking, like the last time I looked, and I saw like Call of Duty 4 on the PlayStation Store. It was still $40 when Black Ops 2 was out. And I'm like, I get that it's a good game, but for Christ's sakes, it was 2007, guys.
They gotta milk their best entry, man.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's one of the main motivators for me to eventually make the move over to PC gaming, at least halfway, so that I can get in on those sweet dealios.
Okay,
I
like
don't-
just yesterday, for example, or it might have even been earlier today. I had $10 in my Steam wallet sitting there, and the Square Enix backlog was on sale, and I was able to get Tomb Raider 1 for $1.74.
Yeah, like you're not going to get that on PSN. You're going to get, oh, you can buy Bully for $15.
Oh, jeez. I think I
Oh,
bought
yeah.
that on Steam for like $2.50 during one of their
Oh
sales.
yeah, it's terrible. You can get Bully even at fucking GameStop or what's the other one that's just like it? It's not UB,
EB
but
games.
yeah, it's like you can still get it there for like $6 on a scratched little disc.
Like
And
I'm
yet
looking.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I was gonna echo the same thing. It's just they sell it on the PlayStation Store, and it's like you guys can't possibly getting that many sales from this.
Like I'm looking through the PS2 on PS4 catalog. These are games that have been upscaled to a point, and I will admit that. But these are games that some of them are decades old, not decades. You know what I mean? About a decade old is what I meant to say. Destroy All Humans 1 and 2 are both $27 each.
No way.
I don't know. That's just too much to me. The Warriors on PS2, $15. Bully, $15. Manhunt, Max Payne, all $15.
You guys are
It's
getting
just-
gouged on console.
It's not like, and it's
Well,
not
no,
even like.
because I'm not buying that shit, and neither
Well,
is
yeah.
a bunch of people. Ain't gouging shit. They're just sitting there, and the funny thing is they don't let anybody come in and to develop, like no indies and stuff. Well, you know what? Maybe promote your fucking store and do something about it. But I honestly believe that they don't care. They really don't. They never even redesigned the interface yet. I feel like they don't try very hard because they don't have to. It's all about selling those units, the consoles themselves. Yes, don't get me wrong. We were talking about it last podcast. I love the integration of Spotify. I love being able to watch, YouTube videos if I really wanted to on this thing. I like the free games, even though I barely ever play them. Some of them, like Little Big Planet, I definitely will, give it a run because I do like that kind of stuff. It's good for the kids and whatever. But everything else, I mean, you're always paying top dollar for all this crap. It would be, and it gives people like GameStop and stuff a reason to stay into business. But if you ever go inside one of them stores, that place is a nasty little grift, and it's gross. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's all I've got to vent about, I think, right now. I don't know about you guys.
No, I just want to echo again. I am excited about the open beta. Check it out, folks. You can preload it on the 21st, which is Tuesday. It's today. We're actually recording. Probably won't be till about noon.
This will be like 3 days late for them.
Yeah.
Sure, but at the same time, do the RSVP if you can't seem to find it on the store for whatever reason. Maybe you need to get it that way. Make sure your Uplay is in order, and check it out. Bring a couple of your buddies along. Give it a whirl, and leave them your feedback, and let's see if they can make a better game. And hopefully, we won't have to clown on it for having some trash PvP patched in later. And if they do, we're gonna hitch on it like it's a new SOCOM fun ride at the old carnival.
Yeah. Well, one last thing that I mentioned that I wanted to tack on a rider to this podcast was, have you guys been paying any attention to the Battlefield 1 Easter egg that's just recently started to develop? And also, I guess I also should mention the ones that were in BF4 if you're familiar with those.
I'm
not
familiar
at
with the
all.
one in BF4, but the BF1 is new to me.
I haven't
See-
heard of Easter eggs since like Joust. I would really actually be dying to hear this.
So yeah, the new deal with BF1 is there have been actually I think since the game launched there have been pairs of headphones that you can find all over each of the 9 base maps or whatever, and you find these headphones and then you go take them to what's like a telegraph, much like the ones that you would find in the Rush game mode, that are hidden about the map. And if you have the headphones, you can hear a message in Morse code. Now, I think a week or two ago, the message didn't really do anything. It basically just told you to wait until later to listen to it again. But recently, they've added.
Wait, that was written in fucking Morse code? beep beep beep
Yeah.
beep 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 was stay fucking tuned. We're gonna be back in with you folks in just a minute.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, it was just a placeholder message until a week or two ago, and now if you go and listen to it now, it gives you a Morse code message sending you somewhere else to a different map. The first one does, anyways. There's a long series of these codes, and eventually they get more complicated. Like, you'll get a code, and it'll be some random message that you need to apply a cipher to, and then when you decipher it, it'll tell you where to go next. And then the next one will give you a different one that needs a different cipher. Some of them need like 2 ciphers, and then the last one will tell you to go to a certain balcony on a certain map. I think down below we'll link some videos relating to this, hopefully. But it'll tell you to go to a certain place, and then like if you wait there, a carrier pigeon will come down and bring you a dog tag to wear, and that's where it ends right now. But this is probably going to play into like future Easter egg stuff with the DLC that's coming soon in March. And
Okay,
also,
real quick though, does this fucking mythical phoenix that rise from the ash to bring this fucking dog tag, this mythical creature, and you get
it's a carrier pigeon.
Okay. Does it unlock a fucking dog tag in the goddamn dog tag menu?
Yeah, I sent.
Okay, I'll admit I'm hooked. That fucking Polish guy is hooked on this gimmick shit. I love it.
The thing I'm torn on it because I do like the idea of Easter eggs in these games, especially ones that are like this creative in a way. But the sheer volume of steps I think is kind of ridiculous. Like you get 3 or 4 MCOM stations in, and you're like, all right, I get it. Can I just get to the end now? But you got to keep doing this shit with the ciphers and listening to Morse code. God forbid you don't know how to decode Morse code on your own, and you have to use a website. And God forbid again if that website is in fact too advanced for your shitty little HP G62 and causes it to melt every time it starts playing the audio file. Anyways, it's a very convoluted to me, and my worry is that there were Easter eggs of a similar cloth in Battlefield 4. That the first one or 2 were just like little map Easter eggs, like you'd sit somewhere and something cool would happen, or you'd go somewhere and you'd see a megalodon, and then after that they did the phantom bow thing where you could go get a compound bow if you did a couple of steps. And that one I found was just the right amount of complexity. Like it involved dedication and it involved searching the maps, cooperation with others, but it wasn't ridiculous. But then they had one where you would unlock the dice camo that was previously restricted only to obviously the developers of the game, which was like a flat snow kind of camouflage on your character.
Okay, I never even heard of that one.
See, yeah, that was the most recent one that I think of, and
Dropping
that one
fucking straight knowledge on us.
the steps on that one were absolutely ridiculous. Like you would need to
you would need to record that, and you would need to make that blonde your fucking thing that makes you go viral.
No, it's too late now. It's already been cracked wide open. Everybody's already on it. They know what's going on.
I never heard a goddamn thing about it. That's awesome though.
But no, the thing with the dice camo Easter egg was that the steps were ridiculous. Like, I'll link a video to you guys later, but the highlights to me were having to go around and press switches on the community map that they released. Or no, Dragon Valley, I believe. One of the two. You'd have to go around the map and find these switches in the most random places. Like, one of them is like underwater on a rock. One of them is inside a blown up tree on the outskirts of the map.
Yep.
And you have people press those buttons and like in succession so that lanterns on a certain part of the map will all light up and none of them will not be lit up. And then you'll need to go enter in a code word on a pillar for some reason, and then you'd need to go into a different map altogether to hear.
And this is coming from 2 guys who hated fucking PlayStation Home. Anyways, continue.
PlayStation Home had nothing to do with this kind of cool stuff.
But this is actually tying into my problems with one of the ARG games that came out on PlayStation Home that I'll get to in a minute. But it's just so convoluted, and the reward for this convoluted procedure was the dice camo, which I wouldn't have a problem with on its own because it's just a funny little thing. Like, hey, look at me! I spent like 25 hours of my time doing this weird shit. But the thing with the dice camo is that it makes you basically entirely invisible to like IRNV and FLIR optics. So like if somebody's looking at you in night vision, they're not going to see a heat signature. If somebody's looking at you with infrared, they're not going to see a heat signature.
No shit.
This is unique to this one camo in the game, and they did this with Battlefield 3 as well, with the black camo. But that one was just unlocked by playing long enough, and eventually you'd get it. And I still didn't like that it did it then, but at least it was something that everybody could eventually get without having a background in cryptography and shit. So I don't know. My worry is that the Easter egg in Battlefield 1 may lead to a new weapon or a new gadget or a new camouflage or something like that that might impact the game balance negatively.
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
But to go back and talk about PlayStation Home, this is my problem with like alternate reality games and all of these things where it's like, go find the secrets to this thing, and it's like, I'm not going to be that guy that finds the secrets. I'm going to be the guy watching the YouTube video feeling like an idiot when some dude who spent 45 hours look at Morse code, he just tells me what's up, and that's just not interesting to me. Like, there's no
just like that
investigation
in
there on my part.
World of Warcraft has been doing that a lot in their most recent expansion, having like super obscure locations, like just like you're saying, Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4 had the one on the rock underwater. In Warcraft, it was like one way out in the ocean. There was a random underground tunnel that you went into, and there's like a little stone that you could click that was hard to find. And like you're saying, it's not something that the average player is gonna be like, oh shit, I found this fucking tunnel. Like they're gonna hear about it on a fucking gaming podcast, and they're going to be like, okay, I want to look at a fucking video, and then they find the video, and that's how they get their super secret reward that everyone already has.
Okay, yeah, let me just chime in real quick. I think you guys got valid points, but you know what? I also think a lot of times people think too small. I mean, if you think how dumb geocaching is, why not fucking solicit fucking people in your community within every state to put up a point like this whole Pokemon kind of thing. I think I might just refer to it as Pokemon.
You did.
But
and that's gonna go in the podcast whether you like it or not.
Fucking A, man, that Pokemon. But I mean, if you were to put up like a meetup place where people could go, and if it did something different inside of a game, or it gave you some kind of, it translated into a fucking another place, man, I think that shit's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when it's done right, because like geocaching generally gives you a clue that you can act upon. It's just not like, oh, I looked at this geocaching thing, he gave coordinates, but unfortunately they're in fucking Zurich and I live in North America, so I'm not going over there.
But I think in this case, major AAA titles can possibly find somebody in every damn state, and not only that, but find them in like say 5 regions of every state, to make like these places at like a park or something where if you walked in there, it would say trigger their app on their phone, because we're all not fucking idiots anymore, and we have these different devices with the NRC or whatever the fuck they call that, and next thing you know, you got something fucking fresh and dope in the fucking game because you went and interacted with people in real life. I don't know. It could be cool. It could also be just a weird way to just beat up on fucking nerds. Or, for me to get beat up, whatever. Either way. I think there's ways to still make gaming fucking active more than just, I think it's limiting, man. I think the more we're connected, the less we fucking talk, the less we actually interact with each other online. Personal opinion.
Yeah, but that's my issue with that, is like I understand that they're trying to involve the community with these kind of Easter eggs, but I feel like they're so convoluted that they only involve a certain few people, and then everybody else has to be the dumb people that had to watch the YouTube video and like, oh, okay, I get it now, I'm gonna go press buttons, and then it just becomes like a job at that point to me. Is just walking around trying to find headphones on a map, trying to listen to a telegraph.
Decrypt the fucking Morse code.
And like, this would have all been cool if it was organically found by me. It
had to be released by the developers, because that shit's way too fucking, involved for people.
Speaking of things that are too involved, that Chiliad mystery in GTA 5, though.
Oh,
but like I said, you guys are still talking about such an old game that people are still playing.
Yeah, people are still playing, but they're just playing to play the game. They're not playing to. I mean, maybe the weird ones are playing to look
But
for
you guys,
UFOs
and then
and stuff.
microtransactions and stuff, shark cards and stuff, it's all the same.
All I'm saying, like the problem with that is, I'm not trying to say shark cards should go away, because obviously they're not going to. They're very profitable. I believe the numbers were around $700 million in profit out of shark cards alone
Shut up,
for
really?
for Rockstar last
I mean,
year.
Holy
I've even
shit.
I've heard more even, but yeah, I mean, it's an astronomical amount, and that's why you also don't see another fucking Grand Theft Auto game. But hopefully, we're gonna see the next Red Dead. Maybe that's been built and gonna be created and gonna be awesome because of shark cards. We don't know. I mean, we just don't.
I don't know. Well, I mean, if they see the money coming out of shark cards, I fear that they might implement the same kind of system in Red Dead Redemption 2, and the rest of the game might suffer because of it. Like, I feel that, and this is my personal opinion again, that the story of the single player in general of GTA 5 suffered greatly because of the focus on GTA Online, which I'm not sad about so much, because I don't, like, I've enjoyed GTA Online, but I also really enjoyed the GTA games for the single player that they've had.
Oh,
since they
yeah.
come out.
But that Red Dead co-op, I mean, as long as they don't make it just strictly attacking forts and stuff, is kind of shallow as it was, and they make the single player with all of that immersion with the characters, the NPCs and stuff running around and all that random events. If they make that really cool co-op and stuff, and they don't allow, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, some of these games allow people to play online together, and all of a sudden they're just randomly in your world, fucking acting like retards. But I hope in that type of respects that Red Dead would be able to do the same thing and bring you along with a really solid single player game that's going to play the exact same whether or not somebody's riding along with you or not.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're going to shine. I mean, they always do. And that's why I'm thankful for it, but I'm just not going to waste my time nor money this long after a game has been done and over with.
Yeah.
I mean, how were heists? Was it awesome? Did anybody play them? I mean,
I
everybody
found them-
played them, right?
I had to wait so damn long for them that they were never going to live up to my expectations, but I did find them kind of disappointing in that the thing with the single player heists, as limited as the choice was, there was at least choice. Like, you had 2 ways to go about everything generally, and you could at least pick your crew, which you can do in GTA Online, but the differences I find are less significant, and there's only one way to go about the heist, basically. There's no choices. It's formulaic. It plays out basically the same every time. And after a while, it's just the same kind of grind that the other missions are, except it's a little more elaborate and there's some voice acting.
And like in the same way, like people falling into like, this is the perfect way to do it. If you go to spot A and you have someone with an armored Kuruma, this is basically not even a challenge.
Yeah, like, it's just, the thing is, I don't think Rockstar, this is one of their first big forays into multiplayer, and they just have no idea how to balance a game for multiplayer. To me, is the problem. Like, in free roam, the de facto best way to kill anybody is a jet, and there's almost no recourse if you're getting killed by a jet, except for to go passive, which is a cop-out. I shouldn't have, like, the main countermeasure to an attack in a game should not be to stop playing the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
But anyways, that's a whole other rant that I could do another day. But I just don't feel like they understand how to balance a game. And the multiplayer with Red Dead Redemption 2 hopefully won't have this problem, unless you can really pay like $150 and get yourself an attack jet in the Wild West.
There'll be stallion fucking antics or something stupid, but whatever. That game was incredibly fun. I can't wait for something like that to come back along.
I feel like GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption, you made your own fun, whereas GTA 5, the fun is made for you and it's less fun, to me.
Yep. I mean, I didn't play much of the second, but the fourth, over the fifth, definitely. I mean, the first one and fourth was awesome. I mean, it was new for what it was anyways, just because it was a new generation. But 5 was, like you said, the story. I still appreciate the story though. Don't get me wrong. Played a ton of it.
It just felt sitcom-y to me. Like they leaned way
Yeah.
too much on comedy, whereas GTA 4 took itself seriously every now and then.
Yeah, it really did.
I cared more about the characters.
Yeah, like they felt real. They didn't feel like fucking Trevor walks into your house for the first time in 15 years, and everybody stops, and you can almost hear the laugh track or the applause track in the background.
No, they did it did come off as super corny fucking cheeseball. I mean, that was, yeah, no doubt.
Like, if GTA 4 had a scene where some dude's son was for some reason beat a trained mercenary into unconsciousness with a bong and then teabagged him, that's I don't think that would have reflected well on the game's tone, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I do agree with you on that. I never really even thought of it like that.
But that's enough of me ranting about that game. I think maybe we should move on to what everybody's playing. I don't know what you guys think.
Oh yeah, we can definitely move on to what are we playing.
Yeah. So I'll let somebody else go first.
Let Ski answer, because his answer will be short.
Yep, it's been SOCOM, folks. The PlayStation 4 gets fired up. Like I said, I downloaded some stuff that were free, but I haven't been playing a whole lot. I actually want to get rid of Battlefront, but I don't even think you'll get more than a couple of bucks for it. So I am kind of eager to stick Siege back in, just because I'd like to go kill some shit. So I'm actually going to do that after we're done here. But no, like I said, I played 14 hours of SOCOM over the last this big long holiday weekend, and it's been great. And I'm going to keep continuing to play. I'm looking forward to co-op on Wednesdays. I'm looking forward to hitting 70 at least on next Friday. Get more guys out. We're going to split the Discord again. We're going to get another war, and we're going to multi-Twitch it, and people are going to be able to watch all of us play and get the banter and everything. It's going to be a good time. So stay tuned, and yeah, that's what I got going on.
Yeah, I've been obviously playing X-Link with everybody on a regular basis, but as far as PS4 stuff in the days in between, I've been playing most recently a bit more Battlefield 1. I got back into that. A long hiatus from that, just sort of burned out. And a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm trying to break back into that, but there's been a lot of bugs again. I don't know why I thought that they'd be gone, but yeah, there's a lot of issues like that. But I've been playing Battlefield 1 and Rocket League a little bit more recently, because that's just a nice little drop-in game. It's and Rocket League is one of the games that's very unique in that it's easy to learn to play the game at least to a semi-competent level, but the skill ceiling is hilariously high, and you can see some wacky shit on YouTube, or if you're unlucky, on the opposing team. Yeah, I've been just playing stuff like that. Not so much Rainbow Six, but the other two.
Good to hear.
I've been still playing Tomb Raider. I think I mentioned that in the last one. I've been playing like the old school like PS1 classics, because I'm a nostalgia powered gamer, and that's like fucking all I play are really old titles. I've been firing up Rocket League occasionally, because you can just drop in and play Rocket League for 5 minutes and then just drop it and play more the next day. But like Blonde was saying, the skill ceiling's so goddamn high, and I'm still a very severe novice when it comes to aerials, and it seems like the skill bracket I'm in, I'm a bit behind on how impressive my aerials are supposed to be, so it's pretty fucking challenging.
Yeah, a bit of a disappointing draft pick in Tawok. They brought you to the Steelers, and you're just not living up to expectations. So expect a 1-year extension, then maybe get cut. That's my forecast for you.
Man, I hope I'm able to impress the team so I don't get cut after 1 year, because I want to make big buku bucks and be in the high-end league,
Absolutely. No, I've been one. I've never taken much interest in sports, or at least like professional sports to the level of the NFL or the NHL or the what have you. But most recently, my YouTube fix has been this guy's video where he basically just takes 5 minutes to talk shit about a particular team, and it's pretty funny. I'll link some of the videos to you guys in the chat. But it's, I don't know. I find it kind of hard to jump in to a professional sport, or watching it or consuming it, because I'm like, I feel out of the loop on everything, on trades and on
Yeah, you're supposed
that
to.
stuff.
Some of us are just casuals, and we just like to watch the game too. So don't feel
Yeah.
like you need to know much more than just how the fucking game is played. That's what I find most important.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause, I mean, a lot of times, I mean, at least that's with me with football. I mean, a lot of these guys will know players' stats and all that, and you know, I've even got family members the same way. They're like encyclopedias with some of that stuff, and that's great. And especially with the fantasy league, and it seems like I have chicks I work with that are huge, like into fantasy football, and I'm like, what the? I mean, of all sports. I
Yeah.
mean, more power to you, but trust me, it's not. I love sports just as much as the next guy, but even then, I know I'm like, okay, you guys are following along just too much, and it's just because there's just a targeted media that kind of breaks it down Barney style for a lot of these people. So a lot of it's regurgitated bullshit. But
Maybe.
Packers
yeah,
still
that's,
suck, so they can get fucked.
well, that's not nice.
That's just not
drawing
okay.
lines. We're drawing lines in the sand here, and I'm gonna tell Brett Favor on you. Is what I'm gonna.
I don't know if that was a joke to Minnesota or Wisconsin, but no.
It can be
Actually,
both because I don't think he knows the nuance there.
Yeah, and it's funny because he is kind of a Canadian.
What's the nuance?
We were talking about the retro gaming, and I'm just gonna let him not know what the nuance is. But I do feel like picking up a copy of Blast Corps and fucking
Blast
throwing a
Corps.
stream up because that was
classic.
one of them. And I do have my Nintendo 64 just chilling out in a nice little box set.
I played that on Rare Replay at a friend's house. That game, Blast Corps. You can see it on Rare Replay. Blast Corps.
Is it a great game or what?
I enjoyed the 15 minutes of Blast Corps that I played.
So other than that, though, I think that's about it, right? As far as what everybody's playing, I would still like to get together. I know some people have expressed interest in tabletop simulators and stuff like that. So I know even me and Blonde's computers can run those kinds of stuff. So if we were ever to get together a game of Risk or Monopoly or something stupid where we all just sit around and jaw jack, I'm all down for that too.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be interesting.
That would be rather spicy if we could get on for a rounded tabletop simulator. Fucking SOCOM has been like all I've been really wanting to play lately, but
Yep.
I mean, it just sucks when you sign on all by yourself and there's like no other boyos to play with, and you know the fucking most fun we had was last Friday doing our little 5v5 scrim, and
yeah, but
you obviously can't have that every night.
Yeah, I still lone wolf it though, and a lot of these people are really nice, so don't let that dissuade you from just at least playing a couple maps. But yeah, I like when we control the rooms because we play the maps we like to play, which is not BS.
Yeah, I just thought, what if we want to integrate the tabletop simulator thing, SOCOM Risk? There you go. Does that exist?
Shit. You can make
we
it.
could make
I
it
got
instead of the instead of the pirate ship, you just got the Huge. It's just out there. It's like an oil rig. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be like your modern day Yurdisk or whatever the hell that was.
SOCOM Risk. You could make it work.
Absolutely.
Nerds. Anyways.
So cool, guys. That about does it for episode 3 of the Spicy Sausage Podcast. If you guys are digging that shit, definitely leave a like down below to let us know, and subscribe to our YouTube channels. You can obviously subscribe to mine right here, and I'll have links down below so you can subscribe to Skimask and Mr.Blonde as well. You can also check us out where we talk shit about SOCOM every day on therealsocom.com, and that's also where you can meet up with us to play with us on Fridays. So until then, this is Tawok signing off.
Yeah, I'll see you guys in the future. This is Mr. Blonde, over and out.
Alrighty, later, guys. We'll see you in there.
You crazy mother.